Okay guys, we're back to our planet, and you'll notice that on my planet here I've actually, I'll zoom in and show you, this is the funny shaped rock that I just made in the last tutorial. So I've got it on my planet, and the thing about 3ds Max is doesn't really matter where things are. Like if you're creating something or you're doing something, it doesn't matter where it ends up because you can always move it and change it, as we've looked at in other earlier tutorials. So what I'm interested in is where this rock sits in the camera view. So I'm going to use the perspective view, but I'm watching the camera view of where this rock sits. So I want to pull it forwards, and then when you look at it compared to my landscape, this rock does seem a bit small. So I'm going to go R for scale, and I'm going to scale my rock up and make it nice and big. Back to W for move, and I'm going to embed it a little bit in the ground, and that's pretty cool. A nice figure in my foreground. Alright, excellent. Now let's say we want this rock to be repeated back here in the background somewhere. Maybe it's some local alien landform. What I can do is hold shift, and when I hold shift and move the rock, I get two rocks. So, and then it's going to say, do I want to copy? I'll say okay. So now I've got two rocks, and I can pull this second rock back here into the distance, and also R for scale, and maybe I want to scale it down a little bit. This is a really good way of having more than one object in your landscape. Alright, great. So I've got some rocks and I've got an interesting landscape. Okay guys, so I've got my rocks and I've got some planets in the background. I've got a planet surface. So what I want to show you now is I want to show you the render tab. So up here you've got a little teapot that's render production. Make sure you're clicked on the camera view before you click it, and then click it, and you will get up a render window, and it's going to show you what your scene actually looks like. So straight away we can see that that is showing me what's in the camera view, and it looks pretty cool. But maybe I'm not getting as much of these planets as I thought I was, so I'll just click back on the camera, and you can see why, because here's the camera's actual frame. So I'll just pull back a little bit. And the other thing is you can move the camera target. Oh, and while I'm showing you that, say I'm trying to click on the camera target but I couldn't actually click on it, you can always go up here and select things. Up here there is a select by name tab. So you can click on that and you know that it's called camera target. So you just click on it, say OK, and the camera target is selected. Okay, so I adjust my camera a little bit, and then I'll go back, click on the camera view and render it. And that's better. That's probably what I'm after. Alright, cool. So that's what it looks like, just normal, just plain. Now we're going to have a play with materials. So at this stage I'm presuming that you've got a planet surface and you've got some objects. So now when you see this symbol, you have to stop and go and do what I'm showing you how to do. Okay? Alright, here we go. So first things first, we're going to go to the rendering tab. We're going to go render setup. You're going to come down to where it says assign renderer, and you're going to make sure up here you guys will have this one. So it'll be default scanline renderer. You need to make sure that you click choose renderer and make sure you choose the mental ray renderer. So if it's already mental ray, you don't have to worry about it, but if it's the default scanline, you have to click and choose mental ray because it gives you more choices for your materials. Stop the video and go and make sure that your renderer is mental ray. Alright, welcome back. Let's have a look now. We've picked mental ray renderer. Now we can go to the material editor and we can have a look, and all the materials will look like this one. I've already got one selected here, but we'll just pick a default. All of yours will be default materials to start. When you click on a default material, you've got this little standard tab. When you click on the standard tab, it gives you a choice of all different materials. You can have ceramic, concrete, glass, water, and don't forget this tab goes all the way down. There's liquids, mirrors, paint, plastic, site work, all sorts of crazy stuff. Get in and have a muck around, but just to keep it simple, we're going to go architecture and design. Architecture and design straight away has made that ball nice and shiny, but then we can select templates. So I'm going to select Chrome template. and I'm going to put chrome on this rock and also on the rock in the background. Now when I click render, you'll see that my scene renders exactly the same, except now my two rocks here are made out of chrome and they're actually reflecting everything around them. So then we could say, okay, well then we'll go another material. We'll click on here, let's go metallic paint for that one. Let's pick a color of metallic paint. Let's go blue metallic paint. And we'll pull some blue metallic paint down onto our planet surface. And so now when we render our planet surface, you will see that we've got chrome rocks and our planet surface is made out of blue metallic paint. So that's rocking. That looks pretty cool. Takes a little while to render out, and the more complex materials you pick, the longer it will take to render. So rendering is really something you want to do at the end to get your final picture, but I'm just trying to show you the difference that it makes as it goes along. Alright, so that looks fantastic, and the goal would be that you would want a different material for everything in your scene. So then I would want to go and render and put some different materials on these two moons or planets in the background, and that is pretty cool, and that's the end of this lesson.